Am I loud enough?
Here we go. Recording started.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
going to fly away. Hold on.
Justin just mentioned that I have to get rid of my file cabinet.
Look how old that
'Cause
thing is. It's not even like
it's
gray.
bad.
It's the
That was-
the manila envelope color. Is that the
that was-
worst color ever made?
Man, I was so proud of these file cabinets.
Did you get them for cheap at some
No,
block
they're the
party?
nice ones. They're the nice ones. The thing is, like, this is my former life of being in sales, and I was in sales, and all I wanted was a nice desk and file cabinets. I just thought that was just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know. It was just sign of prosperity if I had a nice desk. Just wanted a big, nice desk. That's all.
I have a big, nice desk, but all that does is make me put more crap on it.
Yeah, that's true. I have a stand-up desk that I don't use enough.
Oh my God.
I stand up like once a week.
I spend so much time at my desk. I can't even blame COVID for my non-weight loss issues lately.
Justin, to tell you a little story about Justin, he got on a kick. Was it during COVID? He's like, I forget. I was going to show him a machine that I thought was best. It's called Ski Erg. So you just have to step up to it and you have to start doing it.
We don't have to talk about this.
And literally, he bought it like 5 minutes after I was talking about it. He's like, I love it. And it's been, how long has it been? Has it been a year?
Oh, yeah. March of last year.
It's been a year and it's still in the box.
Over a year.
Still in the box.
It may or may not still be in the box.
At this point, just send it to me. I'll pay you half price.
Yeah, because I don't think you can get them right now. I think I got like the last one on the shelf.
I think you can get them. They're nice. You got to get on it. I mean, just step on the Ski Erg.
I bought I didn't buy a Peloton, but I bought the equivalent to that. I used that for like 2 weeks, stopped.
I know you were using it.
I was. I like spin. I like that. You sweat a lot, but
you could do the Ski Erg and the bike.
We had a lot going on. We had to move all the stuff out of the house and get it down to the new studio because that was the big part. We just didn't have room.
Right.
We're still working on the building. So, but trying to find roofing material the roofing material is not coming till summertime. So, that's.
So you got to tell me, so Justin's got his house, then he has a studio in Astoria, and then he bought a commercial building in downtown Astoria that he's renovating. So kind of a lot to do.
A lot going on. And on top of being busy every single day.
Right.
Working.
I don't know how you do that.
Well, I don't. It'd be easier if we didn't. we keep going back and forth on how much we really want to be doing it. But the main key, I think, is you just have to get up and go to work every day. And the other stuff falls in line. You find time.
Yeah, I mean, the other projects kind of fall apart a lot for me because I just know the only way to kind of keep things moving is if I could take photos.
Yeah.
So if you wake up and you have a big to-do list, but you have to go take photos, everything takes a back seat, So literally, I got to go. We got shoots every day.
And I don't even want to talk about my edit list right now. Let me look at it. Emily made me a list and I didn't like it, so I stopped looking at
the
it.
Stuff that you have to get through.
Yeah.
How many jobs do you have?
I'm looking right now. Here comes the task. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Trying to think. Yeah. Karina's job board's looking pretty packed.
I have 19. Well. 19 jobs I'm editing right now.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Oh, it doesn't feel good looking at that list. I don't look at it. Then my life's okay.
We had an entire lacrosse league yesterday. Karina just said, I forgot to post them. It's been a week. It's probably been a month.
I just haven't posted.
We had them done quick. Like we had them done like in a week.
I've done that where you think you did it. You think you followed all the way through and didn't. Those are the checks and balances I think we all fight. There's always something like that for us.
Well, what's sad is nobody from the league ever said anything. So that's kind of worrisome. Like they really don't care, or were they just being really nice and patient? Like I'm not quite sure which one it was, but
are they used to waiting that long because of paper order forms in the past? So maybe they're like, well, we don't see them for a month and a half usually anyway. So
yeah, that might be the case, but yeah, That was bad. We didn't even post it. So got to do that. I mean, I guess that's one thing you wouldn't do with order forms, right? You have your cash money good to go.
You're getting that order done.
Yeah, we haven't got paid anything from that job. Hopefully we got some orders in. I don't know.
Must be nice to be so busy to not even know you didn't have a job coming in.
Yeah.
You've been crazy busy though. You've been nuts. You've worked literally every day. You've had a shoot for a month and a half, it seems like.
Oh, there's an order. Yep. Okay. $99 order. Okay.
Just came in?
Yeah. No, we're good. We had
nothing today. That's nice.
we had 2 days off because of the weather, because it rained last weekend. Then we had this past weekend we had one shoot canceled, and we had Easter Sunday, so that was a lot of fun. I've had 3 days off on the weekends.
So, I worked on Easter, I'm not gonna lie.
What did you do?
I just had a house shoot. I just went and shot real estate.
Okay. Yeah, I actually didn't. Like, usually a day off means I'm still in the office working, but on Easter I actually didn't do anything. I sat there and watched TV and drank too much.
At least you celebrated. That's good.
Yeah, we just celebrated. It was fantastic. So that was good. But looking at the calendar now we don't have another day off till I don't know when. So, but I've been doing all the boot camp stuff. We have that sold out. We have so many people coming to the 2.0 now. We're really excited about that. And then I've ordered t-shirts today.
I know everybody's wanting to know what the agenda is for that. I'm excited about it. I think there's just so much you're trying to get it all dialed down, right?
Yeah, because so we have the boot camp, which is the regular boat ride boot camp that we do, and the 2.0 is 2.0. We're gonna do more advanced stuff, and it's just I'm trying. This thing is I could just rush it and just put some stuff down there and just like, okay, this is what it's gonna be. I mean, I know we work every day, so I have plenty of content and things to do about, but I want to make sure that it's gonna be good stuff. So I'm not in a huge hurry to get that down because I want it to be relevant stuff that everybody's going to be able to use. And I mean, you can just throw stuff down on a piece of paper like, oh, here's the agenda. But I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to like, okay, as I'm going through the season, I always get ideas like, okay, this is like this weekend, like we had a softball shoot this weekend, and it was a new, I think this might be so our Parks and Rec department, it's gotten really big. It's doing really well. Our county's growing. So the little softball program was a little softball program. And now it's up to 65 teams or something like that, 60 teams, 700 players. So it's gotten to be pretty big. And this is the second year that this director or second season, because we do fall and spring, that she has managed to shoot. And she's great to work with. It's really good to work with. And we were like, rain was coming, and so well, can we use, since they're part of Parks and Rec, you have all those facilities, like, can we use the gym? And then she's like, well, I don't want to use a gym because I like the photos to be outside, and it went so well in the fall, she wanted to keep it outside. And we're like, we have 0 dates. We don't have, with a 60 team league, like a 30 team league, you can squeeze in on the weekday, even a 40 team league. But when you're getting up to 60 teams, so it would be several weekdays. So we had to move it inside.
Yeah, because what are you shooting? That's an 8-hour day minimum for 60, right? Even with 2 lines.
No, it was long. It was 8 hours, but set up, break down, all that stuff. I think it was maybe 6 hours. We had 2 shooters, one team every 10 minutes. So that's six teams an hour, 12 teams an hour, so yeah, 5-hour shoot basically. I think we had a couple of breaks built in there just because, if you're shooting one team every 10 minutes, there's no breaks because you have 12 players, right? I mean, that's less than a minute per player. Then, there's no real breaks in there because there'll be buddy shots and coach shots and all the other things. If you have to go fix one girl's hair, then you're right at the 10-minute time cap. So it was busy the whole time. But the point was, is like we did it inside. We did a good job for them. But as I was going to the shoot, I'm like, this director, she's really great. And I was like, well, we'll just try to do something a little special for them. That's when I went ahead and got the constant lights out. And I have I got the Nan light, which I'm using to light myself. It's the FS 300 that I got from John Scott at Robert's Camera.
Yeah,
And
your
I
lighting
got
looks better finally.
yes, it's nice and even. But and then I got the Pavo tubes. I have 2 Pavo tubes, and those are awesome. I mean, I think I showed us a few photos in the boot camp Facebook group, and Rose Coleman literally drove to Dallas like 3 hours from her house like that day and went and bought like 5 or 6 of them. She's crazy, so they're pretty cool lights, but you can turn them colors. And so what we did is we're like, not only do we have the regular station, I set up a separate camera, and I just had one of my team photographers. I had 2 girls that I was like, look, just have fun. I'm going to transition those girls to individual photographers. I was like, look, here's the setup. Here's the tubes. Just have the girls come over and just tell them to have fun. They can do whatever they want. And so it was pretty fun because we were able to change the colors of the tubes depending on the girls' uniforms. And
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, and the most important thing is when the parents walked in, they're expecting outdoor photos. That's our usual thing. So indoors, kind of a disappointment. But then when they walked in, we had them cut the lights off, which was bad for close-ups for the regular photos. But it made all the Pavo tubes and the constant lighting really pop. It looked like a studio in there when he came in, and everybody just thought it was the coolest thing. And I just had 2 Pavo tubes set up. Imagine if I had like 4 or 5 and like created a whole little setup, how awesome that would look.
Imagine 6, creating that V shape that everybody creates from when Quanti did that with his background.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like the Star Wars style.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah.
That'd
So part of my spiel to the girls, when they come up, I was like, all right, ladies, here's your poses. These are your poses you can do. Once you get done with these poses, you're going to go over to this. And I would call it the laser station. Go to the lasers. And they were like, oh, we can change the lasers, whatever colors you want. So if they were pink, you could, they could do pink. Some of them had like yellow and green. And, we did 2 different colors there. So that was a lot of fun for the girls. And the coach, they just thought it was cool. It was just a good experience,
Yeah.
And to me, I was like, if the photos turn out good, that's just a bonus. I wasn't really concerned. I was just the fact that it was just an experience, and maybe we can get some good shots out of them. So,
well, I know you showed me a couple and they looked cool. I don't know if you can show any right now, but because
I'll show like kind of what that was about. Let's see here. And of course, I come up with that idea like literally the day, like an hour before the shoot.
So at least it's cool you have the stuff with you though to be able to do it.
Right. It was thank goodness it was the house that was close to or a shoot that was close to the house. So I just called Jody.
Is that Seattle?
What's that?
That's Seattle. I think I have a picture. I took a picture like that.
Yeah, and that was a like my first mirrorless experience. I had a Fuji camera, and I rented it for that trip, and I was on the ferry, and I was like handheld, like I don't know, like 1/40th of a second or something like that. Like it was pretty cool because that's what I first like experienced the image stabilization of mirrorless camera. So you can see there, as you can see, like we have the different colors. So that was the Hellcats. They're blue. We had green, pink there. There was a red and blue, so we were just able to mix it up.
Yeah, that's cool
for the girls, and they had a lot of fun. So it looks really neat when you come in there and you see that one looks pretty cool. When you just see the lights there, that one looks like a little out of focus. So I did have to slow the shutter speed down a good bit in order to really make those lights pop. Hopefully got one of those. There we go.
I think you could get away with pretty high ISO too if you had to, if you're fighting that.
Yeah, I haven't seen those where they looked
a little bit of grain in that. It's not going to be bad.
Yeah. It looks like there's like a little, it's like there might have been a little batch that they might have bumped the camera, but it was the kind of situation where we were so busy, I didn't have a lot of time to, go over there and double check everything that was going on. But that one looks tight. That one's perfect. Yeah, that one looks really good. So yeah,
I like that little bit of haze. Even like I don't hate that. I think that looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the little highlights on her cheek. I mean, the thing that I'm not crazy about the Pavo tubes, the one gripe that I have is the actual connectors. Let's see here, the actual little clamps that go around the Pavo tubes. They're these little clear clamps, and when you twist it on, like it doesn't, like if you turn it and you want to go at the angle like that, like it won't stay. It'll just sag, or you know what I mean? The tubes are kind of inconsistent because you can't put them in place. So, and you don't want to, and you don't want to do, I didn't want to do super clamp because the super clamp would show in the image. You know what I'm saying? Because you can, if you look real close, I can see where the clamp is. So if that was black, you would, would stick out. But they do have brackets though. Like if you order like 5 tubes, they have brackets. But
they did in a 3-tube pack.
No, I did 2 tubes. Let me see if I have one.
You have to get John Scott to send you some.
Here it is. Can you see this? It's like this little plasticky thing. You know what I mean?
How do you mount that to the?
Well, see, it has the threads there, right? And then I happen to have the I had a super clamp. Let me see. There we go. Okay, so yeah, I had a super clamp that clamped to the stand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a magic arm, which you know how expensive the magic arms are. They're like,
oh my god, yeah, and mine just broke, and I'm kind of pissed about it.
Yeah, these things, I've had these things for years.
Yeah, I had too, and mine finally busted.
And so out. I just used so you see this little clamp just for a camera, right?
Yeah.
So I just would screw it on here, and this just is not enough to. I don't know what the weak point is, but I mean these clamps are very plasticky, and this little deal here is made to hold a camera like on a backboard. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is solid. I feel like the threads in here spin.
Will it screw into this, like into the end of like a?
Yeah, I think I've tried that too.
And then you could put it on a
you're talking about the Pavo tubes?
Yeah.
The end of
the clamp should screw right onto that, right?
I know, but it's the end. And they're 3 foot long. You know what I mean? I don't think a little stud.
You can't clamp that right to the middle. It'll show, huh? Because of the clear?
Yeah, you can't. Oh, I see what you're saying. Put a more of a stable nipple. Yeah, I think I did that, but I think it's spinning inside here. I don't think it locks down very good right there. I'm not quite sure. I need to experiment with it more, but I haven't had any luck getting those things like to stay in place. I mean, I just had to kind of rig it. You know what I mean? Like I would just basically hook the Pavo tube, and then where it was going to collapse, I put it on there, so it would just like fall into that grip arm or whatever. So
yeah,
I need more practice. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I just, every time I do it, it's last minute, and I didn't, prepare.
Didn't test it. Yeah. I mean, it'd be nice to have the time to do all the testing and play, right? But we never seem to do that.
I know, it's just a big setup. I mean, you want to play with the
even with like I want to set backgrounds up and try different lighting schemes. And, all this other stuff. But I always revert back to what I know what works too. Or if I'm going to try something new, we fail sometimes on the job, and you just move on.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. That's what we're going to do at Boatwright Boot Camp 2.0. That's what I'm thinking. Like, you know what I mean? Like all the things that I want to do, haze machine, atmospheric haze, smokes, gels, Pavo tubes, constant lighting, all those things. And of course, James Quantz is coming. So we're going to have his Pro Light mod switch we need to talk about. But anyways, I think all those things, experimenting with those things that we don't ever have time to do, I think that's going to be the funnest thing for me.
Yeah, for sure.
If we can come out with some ideas on how to have shoots using those like more advanced things, like level up just a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that'll be awesome, because I am excited about the parents seeing these photos, because, my thought is always, if they start posting these photos and they have friends in other parts of the country, like, well, where did you get that done? It's like, it's just a league photographer. That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
a random guy.
Just
some random dude, random rec league photographer,
right.
Doesn't.
It's not like a college level or high school or anything. It's the rec league.
It's raising the bar though. It just is.
Right.
You ever find a good haze machine? Remember we were looking for those?
No, I have the big smoke machine. I need to find out more about that.
Your picture, your video when you smoked out that whole stadium.
Oh,
that one night.
Oh my gosh.
That's insane.
I need to see if I can show that. I bet you I can show that. But yeah, that was something we had a. Did we already tell that story?
I feel like we might have
different show where
it was great.
Yeah,
I think we did. It might have just been a boot camp one though, but it was funny.
Yeah,
for those of you who don't know, so Jay went to shoot a team at night, right? And so we were talking all day about how he was going to do it, and he's got this fog machine that he uses inside of his. Sometimes he'll use them in the dugout shots, which is really cool. He does it at boot camp too, and shows people how to do that. But in the daytime, it doesn't seem to be too ominous. It doesn't like there's smoke, but it doesn't infiltrate everything everywhere. So he does it at night at this high school, and then they had was it a lacrosse game, Jay, or a football game, or soccer? Anyway, he goes to shoot these track athletes late at night, and he uses the smoke, and they're at the starting block, and it looks all cool and stuff. But then when they're all done, he's leaving, and he looks over, and he realizes there's a game going on in the stadium, and all the lights are on in the stadium, and the whole thing is full of smoke. It looked like it was just fogged out. It was just from him doing a couple of athlete shoots on the track nearby. You have to show it. It's
I'm looking for it now to see if I can find it. But it was the smoke had moved. It had moved from the football.
The wind shifted it over.
Yes.
And so nobody could even see the field from the stands. It was
a baseball. No, it was a baseball field. We were taking photos on the football field.
Oh, and it moved over to
the baseball field.
Like on the other side of the school, right? Like it was totally, you didn't even notice it was doing it until you were leaving.
Right. I had no idea. Oh, here we go. I think I found it. I'm going to download it. See if I can download this thing and I'll show it to you. But yeah, that was, so point being, Roscoe Smoke Machines put out so much smoke. Well, we did one time we were recording we were recording some stuff for Photo Day, and so they sent some videographers to Atlanta or up here to Canton, Georgia, and it was cold. And my studio doesn't have, we have some heat, but it was cold that day, like in the low 30s or high 20s. It was cold. My studio, it's just like a little heat pump, so it can't really get, and it's this big open, and it just can't get warm when it's that cold, And so we were freezing. My nose was red during the whole filming, and then we were, I don't know what point, we were right in the middle of the day, and I showed them that they wanted to have some haze. And I was like, well, I have the fog machine. And so we're using the fog machine, and then during the break, right in the middle, they wanted, Rainer was there, and Rainer always likes to go over the top with his videos and stuff, So they started blasting smoke in my studio, just blasting. It was on Saturday, blasting smoke, and it got really smoky in there. And that's what they wanted. They were jump through the smoke with their little video and all. Well, it set off the damn fire alarms. And and my studio is small. It's I don't know, maybe 1,000 square feet, 900 square feet. And it was the loudest thing you've ever heard. It was so loud, but it was the weekend. And I'm trying to get my landlord, and my landlord said that to turn it off, it has to be in another tenant's office 3 doors down, and they're closed. And I was like, Mike, I've got a whole film crew up here. I've got literally 5 guys up here filming me for this thing. Is there any way you can call them, or what can we do to turn this damn alarm off? And it was so bad. It was so bad. And it was probably an hour and a half before he was able to get up there and turn that damn alarm off because of that smoke machine. So smoke machines do, in fact, turn on, because a lot of people say it's heat. It's no, it's fine. It's heat based. It's not, based on smoke. Well, I don't know what happened, but that was miserable.
No, I think some of them do. They have a little tube in there, and if it's a clear tube, and it senses that haze, and so it'll go off based on that. You're lucky the sprinklers didn't go off if it had them.
Okay, let's see here if I can. Let me see. See, I don't think it'll show sound, but let me see if I can show you the video of what this is capable of. Okay, so you can kind of see. All right, so let me go back a little bit. Let me go back. So that's the football field over by the scoreboard is where you were shooting. And I left, and now given this is we had packed up and left. Like when we got there, the lacrosse guys were getting ready to start playing. We didn't know there was a lacrosse game, and they were all playing in the smoke. It was fun for them. You know what I mean? They were running through the smoke and having a good time. And so we left, and I packed up, and you see it's dark by now. But this was probably 20 minutes after I stopped using the smoke machine, you know, and we're sitting there packing up like, look at that, smoke's gone. No problem. It's off the field. They're going to be able to play a lacrosse game. Well, there was damn baseball activities going up at the baseball field. And there was the smoke at the baseball field.
Are you using like what kind of size fog machine is
like
that?
I made weather. That thing made weather. Like they're sitting up there, and they're just probably just like, I mean, where did this fog come from?
Jesus.
Yeah, we blasted them out. So that was pretty funny. So
that is ridiculous.
Yeah. So those machines are quite capable. So they have the dehazer. Now is the dehazer like what exactly like is the difference between smoke and haze? Haze? That's the one thing I don't really know.
So I think haze looks like the smoke machine after it's kind of dissipated, right?
Okay, yeah.
And I think it doesn't overpower.
It's a little bit more transparent.
Yeah, it's not as overpowering.
And will it stay lower, or do you think, or is it just a matter of what the temperature of the
I think it's whatever the temperature of the machine puts out, right? Like you can get low-lying fog machines, but it's like
it has to be cool though.
It has to be cool, yeah, because heat rises. So I think it's similar to that. You could probably, I mean, I don't know a lot about them. I wish I did.
Well, we gotta find out.
There's like different volts. There's like 240s, then there's 1200 watt. Like, how do you plug that in? What are you using to power that thing?
Yeah.
Just your generator or?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, the thing is John Scott's coming up from Robert's Camera to boot camp. So we're going to have to see if he can get his hands on some things, because I just think like being able to have like 2 days and James Quantz Jr. is coming, and he's got the Pro Light mobs, which are shipping now. Finally, he got them in stock, right?
Yeah, I got an email. So yeah.
So they're shipping, and I think he has really limited quantity. So if you guys want to get those Pro Light mods by James Quantz, you better go ahead and get them, because who knows when he'll be able to get it. I know he's trying to get a U.S. Manufacturer like he talked about on the show, but that's exciting to get those. But we're gonna have 2 days to be able to mess with all that stuff. You know what I mean? With the gels and with the Pro Light mods and with haze fog machines, all that good stuff. I want to experiment and do all the tests that we want to do. We never have time for, because I mean it's literally like I had off Sunday, and the weekend before I had a couple of days off. But the last thing I wanted to do was set up lights,
because you've done it all week.
Yeah, I've done it all week. And I was like, I'm exhausted. I don't want to do it anymore. And
it's not only a full-time gig, it's like it's a lifetime gig, right? If you're constantly getting better, it's hard. You never get time off. I mean, even on your days off, you're messing with it. But I guess that's why we love it. So
yeah. I mean, I'm thankful. This is going to be. I hope if things continue to go, this has been our best spring we've had in a long time. So I'm hoping that trend will continue. And I think a lot of it is because the whole photo day system is we're able to do so many more jobs than we're doing with paper order forms.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say it's been our best one, because it hasn't. It's so different.
Just with photo day though, right?
Yeah.
Not is like your overall business is thriving.
Right. But sales haven't been as high for me. I mean, I'm not gonna lie about that. I think that with inflation and everything, I think photos right now, that's an even better reason to get better at your craft, is they have to be incredible to sell right now. If they're mediocre, people don't have a lot of extra money these days to spend on, buying their kids photos for us. Especially the older group of kids where it's hard sales sometimes anyway. So you take it personal sometimes, but you can't, people are kind of managing their money these days because of everything that's going on, I think. So,
well, you have the high schools as your challenge too, right?
Yeah.
Like you're going to have to like get creative with I feel like your marketing for high school has to be really good, because if it's not, then you're not going to sell. Like you have to like really, it's not like the little league, the little guys. I mean, the parents can't wait for those photos to come out. Right.
Right.
And I feel like with high school, unless you really, if it's this guy, if you can, if you have the opportunity to show them your work, then you'll sell it. But that's the problem, is like having the opportunity to show it, because the kids aren't going to share the link, or school doesn't share the link or whatever. So it's harder for you to get in front of the parents than it is with us.
Sometimes it is. Yeah. I mean, even though I'm, they know where to go to get them, I just feel like sometimes it takes a back seat, and you got to be able to present yourself in a manner that says, hey, look here, these are incredible. Come look at these.
I know, but she's still saying that you have some jobs where that people aren't looking, like, they're not looking.
Yeah. I mean, here's a prime example. One high school I shot a month ago. I'll just give you for example. We did everything we did. We set the job up 2 weeks early, sent it to everybody. And then now there's only been 6 orders out of 70, which is crazy. Right. And that's how many people have even looked at you can see in the insights, which is nice. That's another thing I love about Photo Day. You can see if your information's been shared, and if people are looking at it, you can get real-time information. And it just didn't get out there. So, we're having to go different ways of doing that by posting on Facebook and doing that stuff. I got to watch Ed and Kathleen's webinar on Photo Day. I haven't done that yet, but I know they got to
talk about the high schools. Yeah. They require those kids to opt in before they take their photos.
Right.
Which
kind of like the old days when you would just make them fill out an order form.
Well, they all have their phones. But the thing is, Ed is a master at capturing information and then exploiting it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's kind of how his brain works. So I think that's a good thing to have. So Ed and Kathleen, they're Photo Day trailblazers, and there was really one of the interesting facts about their studio. They're in Charlotte, North Carolina. During COVID, they had the Front Porch Project, right? Wasn't that what it's called?
Yep.
They did the Front Porch Project, and they were the largest. They raised the most money of any studio in the country. So that was really cool. And together they just made this awesome. They had this whole system down. They still should do that system. They should still do that system on holidays.
No matter what. I think it was a lot of work. They had it dialed though.
They had it dialed in.
Ed had that app or whatever that created off the schedule the best route to take. Like his whole story about it's incredible. Yeah.
So anyway, they're really good at taking an idea and like implementing systems. And so they did a webinar for Photo Day, and they explained how they do everything. So and it's high school. I don't do much high school, so I don't have to worry about it as much. But that'd be a good one for you to still watch, which is cool because the thing is, you're learning from photographers that you've been doing it for so long, but still they're offering an education that you wouldn't get otherwise. You can't go to YouTube and find volume sports photography. How do I get more people to opt in? It's just not out there.
Well, and that's I learn something new every day, and I try to. You don't boil the ocean all at once. It's a cup at a time. And so I think when you think you know it all, you're done anyway, right? So you gotta then you're just a pain to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think we're lucky. We're in Atlanta. We have 10 million people here. I think it's the last number I saw for our metro, and that we can stick with just with rec leagues. And we, like I said, we do some of the high school stuff, but that's a challenge.
It can be. It's fun. I mean, it can be fun and rewarding too. It kind of changes year to year. You gotta stay relevant in this industry. You have to. That's why you got to learn new tricks.
Yeah,
and keep growing and keep getting better.
Yeah, that's just really exciting to be able to have those 2 days just to mess with that and figure out some new stuff, and also have Quants there, right, to kind of guide us too, because I feel like he's forgotten more stuff that we
we'll ever learn. Yeah. No, I'm excited about meeting Quants in person, and he's just a super nice guy. Every time I've heard him talk or dealt with him too, it's only been a couple times, but yeah, he's down to earth. So it'll be interesting to be able to connect with somebody in that part of the industry where you think they're untouchable kind of sometimes. So,
yeah, absolutely,
pretty awesome.
Tell me about your Sony cameras now that you've been using them for a few months. Are you happy with them?
Yeah, absolutely. Why?
I'm just curious. Like I haven't had a Sony update. Like you haven't complained about it.
No, that's a good thing. If you're not complaining, then it's working, right? So
which one do you grab though? Which one is your favorite one?
You know, the Sony A1's incredible. It's been a beast, but I haven't been using it as much as I'd like to. It's just the files are so big, which is great I use it for seniors and for portrait sessions.
Yeah.
But man, shooting with that for like volume, even doing cutout stuff on, Lastolite or green screen, you want more megapixels. It makes the cutout a little bit cleaner and easier. Editing's easier, right? Or not easier, but you have more leeway. I used my A9 II yesterday for a whole session, and I love that camera too. It's a little bit smaller files, but still pretty good resolution. It's right there in the middle. I think I gotta look.
But you have 3 now?
I have 4 total. I have an A7R4 too that I use just strictly I was using that just for landscape stuff because I got that before I got the A1 because the A1 it was back ordered for like 4 months when I first ordered it. So I ended up with 4 of them. The A7S III I use for my real estate video. They're all different tools for different jobs. I know people complain about how much they cost, but they're so much cheaper than the old DSLRs were when you bought the pro level versions, except the A1, it was $6,500. That was
the A1. That's the big one.
That's the bad boy. Yeah. That's the flagship. But the other ones like the A9 II, the A7S III, which is what I use primarily for video and a big volume because it's only 12 megapixels. And I'm not cropping anything. I'm shooting it all in the camera, especially with the, shooting with the right aspect ratio. So the 12 megapixels just works. Nobody has even said a word ever. They don't know. It doesn't make a difference. If it's sharp and your lighting is good and you're not cropping really crazy, we're selling 8x10s, right? Most of the time. I did sell a 16x20 canvas the other day in a travel league basketball because I took a family portrait and they ended up buying a canvas. So that was cool.
Canvas hides a lot too, though, because it has those little dimples in there. So it doesn't have to be incredible.
But it would even look good. I mean, on a print 16x20, you can take a 12 megapixel. I used to sell 30x40s of my wedding stuff on my old D3S with 12 megapixels. And I didn't enlarge those, and they turned out beautiful. They were sharp, clean. As long as your light is good and you're not pushing the camera on the ISOs, you're in good shape.
That's interesting. Yeah,
I got my software now. You could take a 1 megapixel image right now, dang there, and make it use gigapixel with sharp, with Topaz, or even Photoshop does a good job making enlargements. There's ways to do that if you really had to.
Yeah, we don't have to do that. Like, I don't know. That never happens.
No, you never have to.
Yeah. We bought our third R6. Canon R6. So, I mean, the only gripe that I have about that is the way that focusing point just darts off to the corners sometimes.
I saw somebody was saying that the other day. I have had my Sony A1. Sometimes it misses the eye. The A7S III doesn't, but that A1 sometimes I don't know. It's the newer version of all the software. You'd think it would hit it better, but sometimes if it's if the environment's a little bit darker, it struggles a little bit. Is that when you're having the most issues? Is after the sun goes down?
No.
It could be just midday.
Yeah, the most issue I have is just the slow startup of the camera. It'll start up slow. And that's when the memory cards are jam-packed, So that's annoying. But, so I just have to keep those clean because I like to keep that backup card with a lot of shoots on it. But I still think that camera is the best for what we do because I mean it's the autofocusing is ridiculous. It's so good. Like I've rarely
mine is too. It's just I've had a couple issues with that A1 when it's dark, or if you got good bangs. Sometimes the bangs just on a kid will it won't find it'll do the big square and find their face, but it won't.
But if you're shooting 2.8, I mean you're still backed up a little bit. You shouldn't really see it too much, right?
I mean, the most problems I've had is in a gym when I'm shooting at 2.8 and the ND filters at 3.
Right.
And I'm shooting
just
at
to
250.
kill any ambient.
Yeah, when there's just when you're just blacking out the room, that's when I've had the most problems with it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could bump it up a little bit to 4, 5, 6 in that case, right?
It just doesn't look as good though. Yeah, but it's not the same. It looks so much better at 2A.
I know.
There's trade-offs though, I suppose. You want sharp images. I mean, I've always been able to save them. There's a little trick, that I use that Topaz Sharpen sometimes, and it saved me. I had the net too close at a soccer league one time, and it saved 100 photos.
Oh, really?
All back focused. Yeah. Nobody ever noticed. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was fouled and didn't notice it on the little LCD. That's a big mistake.
Yeah.
You get that net too close and it starts hitting the back of that net instead of. That was back with my Nikon days though too. So it didn't have that. The iFocus wasn't as good as it is now. So.
Oh man, the Nikons would the D4. I could not shoot. I had to shoot at 4. I couldn't shoot at 2.8.
Just miss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even I remember shooting with my
1.485.
Trying to shoot a senior portrait, and get that front eye. Yeah, I'd shoot out of the 10 images I'd snap on that. I'd get 2 maybe that hit the eye, and I was looking right at it, and I wasn't.
The focus point is right on it. It's it's right there. I'm telling you exactly where I want you to focus.
Yeah, it still would miss. It's like, what are you doing to me?
I'm not sure if I know anybody that's bought the new Nikon.
I think there was one in the boot camp.
Bought the flagship?
I can't remember who. Yeah, the Z9.
Yeah, well, that was $6,000, right?
I think it was a little more. Maybe. Yeah. I know. I've seen John Scott pushing it on their Roberts website.
Oh, that's right. But I don't know. I wonder if it's available though. Can you even get it? It's so crazy right now. It's they talk about these cameras, but you can't get them. Can't get the R3, right?
Yeah, that's why I didn't. That's why I went with Sony. I got sick of waiting. I just got sick of waiting for everybody to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
And Sony's, I mean, the A1 took a while to get, but they had other gear out there that was still stellar that I didn't have to wait for.
Yeah.
That A9 II doesn't get talked about enough. That's what the sports guys were using before the A1 came out with. And it's a nice camera, man. It just gets out of your way. It just lets you shoot. And it doesn't ever seem to foul anything up. It's a great camera.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was going to trade it in and get the A4, but it's too good. But the A4 has the flippy screen, right? And and about the same megapixels. So I was going to try to swap them, but I don't know. That A9 II is just nice. I'm comfortable with that in my hand, no matter what.
Yeah, but the file size is a huge issue with the A9, right? That's the big guy, right? Or the A1?
Well, the A1 is the big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I just bought a new Synology NOS system that I'm sitting here fighting this morning, trying to get it set up. When you go to set the rate up, it says, it's going to take 2 days. And I'm like, I don't want to wait 2 days. I need this shit.
It takes that long. No, it took mine over a week.
I don't have time for that. I need it now.
Yeah,
that's the way the world works. I know, it sucks.
I know ours is about full right now, and I have a drive that I need to get a network expert in here because I have a drive that is sitting there empty. It's a 18 terabyte drive that somehow or another it didn't get activated. You have to activate the drive, so it's just sitting there. I went to activate it, and it gave me a message that kind of made me think that it's going to delete everything. So I'm like, no, I don't. We gotta wait. We gotta wait for that. I feel like
that's why I didn't swap out I have a 2-bay, so then I bought the 4-bay, and the 4-bay just showed up yesterday, and I have 4 16 terabyte drives, and I want to set it up in this new RAID 5 conversion, right? So I can get the most bang for my buck. Because here's the reality: RAID isn't truly backup, right? Because especially with if your disk goes down or you get some kind of software malfunction in your NAS, it's all the drives anyway. So you still have to have a backup somewhere if you really, really want to be. RAID isn't backup. RAID is what's the word I'm looking for? It's just not. It's not
a redundancy.
It's a redundancy, but it's not full redundancy all the time, especially if it's all in the same block. Like you have to have another one offsite somewhere else, whether it's the cloud or maybe down at your studio where it's, you can flash back up over your network, down to your studio. But That's the only true way to back something up. If it's all in the same brick, it's not really backed up.
I need to do that Amazon and just let it back up. I wonder how long it would take to back up.
I don't think it takes as long as you think if you just do it. This new raid, I'm gonna do the cloud sync with Synology on top of keeping it in the.
Do they give you? Is there a limit?
I don't. It's you pay for it, you know.
Okay.
A monthly fee like everything else. But I pay pretty good penny for Dropbox too. I think I could do it on there.
Yeah.
And I don't really need my RAWs backed up. I don't. Once it's turned to JPEG, that's really the only ones I want backed up.
Yeah, so I got to go in and do just that. I have to delete a bunch of raw images to clear some space because I have a bunch of wasted space on there. So
once you've edited and exported to your JPEG, you don't need those RAWs anymore. You really don't. What are you going to do? I've never really had to go back to one in 11 years.
The only time I do is like to go back for a presentation or something, and that's it.
Yeah. I guess that's why some people still just shoot JPEG. But I've had to save, you know, sometimes you have a misfire and you can save it, you know?
Yep,
maybe a light hits a little too bright. You can always save it.
All right, it's 45 minutes. I got to go. I have a shoot.
Where are you going? What are you shooting today?
Baseball.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, we have baseball. It's windy and cold. We have not still. It is April. It is April the 19th, the third week in April. And we still have not had one hot day in Georgia. Not one.
We had one nice day about 3 weeks ago, and ever since then it's been raining. It's been pouring down rain.
It's windy and cold here. It was literally in the 40s this morning. It's supposed to get up to 70, but we'll see.
Well, good luck.
All right.
Don't knock anything over.
Next week.
All right.
All right. Bye.